What's going on YouTube? My name is Shorty. For today's video, I figured I'd get on the track as well. I figured I'd show you guys my thoughts on what's going to happen for Season 10 of Fortnite. Now, of course, there's a couple things to take into consideration before you guys hear my predictions for Season 10. And that is just going over what we know so far. Now, of course, we know all about Season 4 whenever the visitor came and the rocket went, and then, that led to Kevin the Cube, and that led to breaking up Loot Lake, and then that led to the vault being revealed, and then, yada yada yada, volcano, and then finally leading us now to the mecha and monster fight, which was very cool if you got to see it. Now, of course, all of this has been leading up to something, and in the fight, you could see that Singularity, who was in charge of running the mecha robot, lifted up the orb from the vault and exposed it to the Fortnite island. Now, of course, this is what we know so far, and then there's two other things we know. One is that Epic Games has stated that Dusty Depot will make a return to the map. Now, of course, how they're going to do it, that's a giant, big question, but they know for sure that it's coming back. And another thing they also tweeted out was they tweeted out this photo, and you could see that there's like a robot in it, but there's also two different symbols in the image. Now, of course, if you look on the left-hand side, that logo is familiar, and that's because that is from the visitor. It was seen on him and on the rocket when it launched up, so meaning that the visitor will be returning to the Fortnite map. Now, of course, in my two different theories, I'm going to be going over how the visitor could change the map in different ways we have not seen before, and how this could be a blast from the past that we didn't think was going to be expected. Now, of course, the other symbol, I didn't know what that was, so if you guys do know and want to help me out, please let me know down in the comments. But anyway, let's get into the first idea that I had. Now, of course, we all know from the leaked files and stuff that the orb, or Bob the Orb, is not going to be stable for long. Now, of course, over the course of this week, he's been kind of going unstable. Like his energy has been kind of spewing out. And something's going to happen to the map, because the orb is going to just unleash this huge just explosion of power. Now, of course, what I think is going to happen in this theory is that the orb is going to explode, and that's going to destroy not all the map, but only parts of the map. It's going to destroy the whole left half of the map, where the polar peak and all the icy biome is, and it's going to flood the half of the map, because all the points of interest that's connected to electricity, Loot Lake and Neo Tilted, will be kind of wiped out, and including near Loot Lake and Neo Tilted is Dusty Divot, which, as I just mentioned, will be going back to Dusty Depot. Now, of course, that way they can still leave some of the original stuff and kind of have some fun in recreating the map and whatever they want. Now, how the visitor plays in is that he is going to come, and this whole thing is going to be about trying to steal the power of the cube. Now, of course, we know that Singularity was trying to protect the cube, and it's been stated that Singularity is from the future, and which is why all the future technology was found in the vault even before Neo Tilted became around. Now, of course, why did Singularity want to do that? She wanted to do that so that way no one could have the power of the orb. And, of course, she knew what it could do because of what it has done in the future. And that is why she's protected it and only used it as a last resort. Now, of course, the monster was drawn to it as some sort of a energizing power source or whatever to it. And I believe that the visitor is stuck in like a time flux, because as you see whenever the rocket event happened, that he didn't make it to his destination, because what he was going to do, the visitor, was he's going to come down near Tilted, go through like a wormhole, and then come out. But instead, whatever the rocks that are powering the rocket fluctuated it, and instead it created ripples through the space-time continuum. And of course, he's kind of stuck in flux, and I think that he's been kind of controlling that somehow, to where he had the cube come down, and he had all this happen to where he could come back and use that energy for his own use. Now, of course, why would he do that? What's up to you get to figure out, but he is hungry for that power, and that's why Singularity does what she does to try to stop it. Now, of course, a lot of people are wondering where Singularity is, and she is speculated that she is currently on the moon. Now, the reason why she's on the moon is because whenever the mecha robot fight happened, it was July 20th, which was the 50th anniversary of the landing on the moon. Now, of course, this would be a little nice nod to the actual history of the world, but also just kind of like it could be like a she's gone but she could return type deal, and I think she will. I think she knows what's about to happen, and she's gonna come and stop it all from happening. Now, that's basically what I speculate is gonna happen, is that the orb is gonna explode and melt the icy peak of it, and it's just gonna flood, and they're going to have to recreate half the map. Now, of course, the second idea that I have is one that I'm more on board with, and that is that the visitor is still trying to come and take the power of the orb, and he's going to be trying to go in that point of time to go take it. But what's going to happen is the orb's going to explode and like destroy the whole island. Now, of course, you're probably thinking, how is it going to be Fortnite if there's no island? Now, of course, people are saying that they're going to go to the moon, but I don't think that's the case. What they're going to do instead is that Singularity is going to travel back in time to about Season 4 and kind of help stop the visitor from leaving and creating all of this mess. Now, of course, this way we can kind of still have the map, and it gives Epic Games a fresh start as to what could come in the later seasons. Now, of course, we've had fun with the map changes, but I feel like they've done enough to the map right now to where Season 10 could be like a blast to the past. And they could still add some of the future aspects from Singularity, and it could be kind of like the crack in the sky event, where they were dropping different things from different eras in time, and that could be kind of like what happens to the new map, is that there could be different places and different items come from different dimensions in time to this current spot. Now, of course, going back to Bob the Orb, we're going to have kind of a similar event as you had whenever Kevin exploded, where like all the shard fairies were flying around. Now, the shard fairies are representing time, because you notice when you were spinning around and we were experiencing the event, time happened and changed the map, and that's why the power of the cube, the orb, is so powerful, because it could power up technology and give it the ability to be more powerful, and even more powerful enough to change time. Now, of course, there's been multiple things to hint at that, like the name Singularity. The actual definition of Singularity is a hypothetical future point in time at which technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in unfathomable changes to human civilization. Now, of course, if she's from the future and her name is Singularity, and the name Singularity means human destruction to human civilization, we could be looking at complete wipeout of the current Season 9 map we know now. Now, of course, like I said, this would give Epic a good chance to start over and to kind of get back on the track, and maybe kind of let some original players experience the map, and maybe let some of the newer players who didn't get to experience the old map to experience the map. That way they can also bring back, like I said, the visitor, and kind of close the Rocket saga and launch us in a different direction where whatever the visitor does could change. And I think the robot that we saw in the tweet that was tweeted out by Epic is Singularity. And you could see, because you would think it'd be the visitor from the skin, but in the top of the head, there's two little spikes coming out of it. And as you see in the Singularity helmet, she has two spikes coming out of her. So I think that he comes and saves the past in order to change what goes on in the future. And of course, that's my idea, is that we will get we will get the map back from season 3, but it will have different points changed because of the change in space-time continuum. So that way we could bring back original Tilted Towers. We're going to bring back original Dusty Depot. We'll bring back some favorites like Anarchy Acres and Fatal Fields, which is where I like to drop. And just a lot of places that people forgot about will come back. And this is really shown from, you remember, from the Unvaulting live event. Because everyone in the lobby got to go down and choose what they got to bring back. Now, of course, in there was a whole bunch of things they took out from the past, like the sword and like the drum gun, which was chosen from the community, but also they had planes and stuff, which is meaning kind of what they want to keep, and we got to choose, which is why the future was ours, because we got to choose how we wanted the future to be. But now that the future is quote-unquote done, we're going to go back to the past and start fresh. Now, of course, those are the two main ideas I had, and of course, we're going to eventually see it in the 2 days that are going to come, and hopefully if I'm correct at all, then maybe I can see what maybe I got wrong, or maybe what they changed from what I thought. And I mean, it'd be really cool just to see what they're going to do with this, because I know they're not going to keep the map the same, especially after the World Cup just ended. They're going to completely just redo Fortnite as we can imagine it. But anyway, guys, that's probably going to be it for this video. Of course, like I said, we're going to have to wait and see what's going to come. And if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I know a lot of people have speculated what they thought, and I mean, these are just my ideas. And I always thought the Visitor was going to come back, and whenever I saw the tweet today, I just knew that it was going to happen and that we were going to have an epic Season 10. But thank you very much again for watching. If you did like this video, please let me know in the comments section. And if you are new, please feel free to subscribe, as I'll probably be posting some more Fortnite. Thank you guys very much, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.